You ever have a pool pump that stopped working after about 3 months of service and it really didn't even work that good when it was working? Well, this thing right here is why we're here today. What's going on, guys? My name is Matt. I'm just a dude, and if you have a Bestway, Coleman, Intex, or stock tank pool, then I'm going to show you how to build a pool pump and filter for about 150 bucks. And it took my pool from this to this in just a couple days. So stay tuned. This goes without saying, but no way, and absolutely no way should you go swimming with the pump inside the pool, much less it even running. So before using the pool, make sure you unplug the pump and pull it out of the pool so nobody gets hurt or injured with this. The submersible pumps, they are insulated so it doesn't, electrify the water, and also the GFCI should kick that breaker off too, but you just never know, and always be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. Videos for informational and entertainment purposes only. So last year we got a Bestway pool. It's an 18-foot in diameter, above ground Bestway pool. It came with this 1,500 gallon per hour rated pool pump, and it has these little 8-inch pool filters in it. Well, after about 3 months, this thing stopped pumping water, and to replace it last year, it was about $400. And I started reading that somebody got the 2,500 gallon per hour pump and it worked way better. Well, if this was $400, it was like $600 last year, and this year they're 250 bucks. So it's a little expensive for me to want to go and buy one of those. And this thing really didn't even work that good from the beginning. I got one of those Intex pool vacuums for the pool, and when I would be vacuuming the pool, it would start discharging cloudy water out of the discharge back into the pool. And I didn't know if it was the filter was wrong or if there was a bypass in the pump that wasn't working, but it never really did clean the pool. So the pool sat from about September to April 2021. In that time, it started looking like a swamp. So it started warming up. I felt I needed to do something. I started researching the pumps. This one's about $200 plus shipping. The 2,500 gallon per hour one's about $250 on Amazon plus shipping. So I was thinking there should be something cheaper. I could buy a whole new pool set for about 500 bucks. So what is a pool pump? I started thinking it's basically just something that just pulls or pushes water through a filter. So what do I have that can pull or push water? I had a 3rd horsepower sump pump, submersible pump. So I started looking around for a filter housing. Well, I found these whole house filter housings, and they have a 10-inch by 4.5-inch filter in there. And you can find the filters anywhere. Ace Hardware, Home Depot. Ace carries a whole line of them. So does Home Depot. You can find them on Filter Warehouse. They're selling them for a 20 micron filter for $7.90. Last year, this was a microband filter that I bought for the pool to try and, help it filter the water better. And this was probably about 20 bucks last year. I think they're about 16 now, but it's still very comparable to something you can go buy off the shelf that's almost twice the size, or filter surface as the ones you can get from Intex. So basically I started piecing this together, and I went from a 3rd horse to a 1/2 horse, and I ended up with a 3/4 horse sump pump attached to a whole house filter housing with a 10-inch by 4.5-inch 30 micron filter on it, and it works awesome. To hook the pump to the whole house filter, I started off with a 5/8 10-foot garden hose, and it seemed to choke down the water flow a little bit, going from a 1-inch discharge to a 5/8 hose. And I eventually upgraded when I went to 3/4 horse to a 3/4 inch inside diameter water hose, which seemed to have a little more flow. Now they also make a 1-inch water hose, which I haven't tried, but if you guys want to try that and tell me how it does, I'm sure even more water go through or pump up to that filter, just to help the flow a little bit. The finished unit is pretty simple. It's just a 3/4 horse that I built a 1.5 down to 1.25 pipe thread out of some ABS pipe, and then I took the 3/4 garden hose connector from the third horsepower pump and put it on there. I ran the 10-foot by 3/4 inch inside diameter hose to the filter. Last year I bought the Intex cleaning set, and it came with the skimmer basket, which had like an anchor that goes around the top brace of the pool. I separated that and I just zip tied the filter housing mounting bracket. I just zip tied it to this arm, which can be moved around all over the pool, and it works really good. I also want to be able to move the pump around to use it like a vacuum. So I attached the pool from the Intex pool vacuum to the handle of the pool pump, and the third horse had three little legs that stuck out from the bottom. So what I did is I took some foam that I had sitting around, and I drilled a hole in it for leg to sit in, and then filled it up with some RTV silicone and put it on it, and then sat it in the pool so I can move it around without it scratching or ripping the bottom. And when I upgraded to the half horsepower, it was already kind of rounded off and set up to sit in like a pool bottom. But what I did is I took some sandpaper and I took all the sharp edges off because I don't want to rip the pool liner. The 3/4 horse was the same. I just sanded stuff off real quick before I put it in the pool, and it works really good. I can move it wherever I want to. I can move the pool pump wherever I want to. It makes it cleaning it easy because you can put it in a place, walk away, come back 20 minutes later, put it somewhere else. You aren't vacuuming that thing out all day long, which I thought was a huge waste of time. The filters for this whole house filter are a lot bigger than this, and they're about the same price, and you know exactly what kind of filter you're putting in. You can get a 10 micron, a 1 micron, a 5 micron, 20, 40, 60. This, I've searched all over, and I cannot find what micron this is rated at. If you can find it, let me know, because I can't. So here's the finished product. Pretty easy to design. You just have a 10-inch by 4.5 inch whole house filter housing, which has a 10 by 4.5 inch filter inside of it, which is connected to the pump by a 3/4 inch inside diameter garden hose, and it goes to a 3/4 horsepower pump. Very easy to design. I can move it wherever I want to in the pool. I can vacuum stuff up with it. Sometimes I take the skimmer and I just kind of sweep the dirt that's on the bottom into the inlet of the pump, and it sucks it right up. Some of the positives I found by using this pump is parts are available anywhere. If you need a filter, you can go get one at Home Depot, Ace. You can, if you plan it out, you can order ahead, save yourself some money. Also, when the pump is running, all you hear is the water being discharged back into the pool. It's almost like a water fountain. There's no humming being generated by an external pump. It's all in the water, and the pool muffles the sound of it. When the filter's clean, it discharges that water out of there a couple feet. But when it starts getting dirty, water starts running down, I guess the filter housing is when I change the filter. And changing the filter is super easy. It comes with this giant wrench. You just put it on there, unscrew it, take it off, put a new filter in it, or clean out the old one, put the filter back in the canister, and put the canister back in, and then snug it up. But be aware that there is about a gallon of water in that canister or that filter housing. So when it comes off, there's going to be some weight to it. I've dropped it a couple times into the pool. But once it's in the pool, there's really no weight to it since it's in the water. And I've been able to pick it up with the skimmer. Another positive is to use this, you don't have to drill any holes. So if you have a stock tank pool, or you're putting a stock tank pool in, you could probably just put all of this stuff or this whole setup into a egg crate and just set it in the pool when you're ready to run it. And then when you're done, pull it out. It's got a nice clean look to it. Also, in the bigger pools, there's no hoses, external hoses, or external pumps. So if you want to decorate the outside of the pool or make it a lot cleaner, you're able to do that. Now, if you have one of those Instaset pools where you kind of blow up the ring around the top and fill it up with water, I would attach the filter housing to the ladder somehow with a hook or something else. So that way the water just gets discharged back in the pool. I wouldn't anchor it to the side because I wouldn't want to pop it or put any extra weight on it. But if you put it to something sturdy like a ladder, discharge the water back into it, should be good to go. Now, if you build this, it's also up to you to be aware of all local, state, federal laws that go along with this. Some places might require you to have a GFCI on the core to this when you're running it, which is a pretty simple fix. These pumps don't come with a GFCI, but if you have one of these old Intex pumps that aren't working anymore, cut this off, splice it into the cord, good to go and in compliance. If you guys do end up building something that's super cool, I want to see it. I'll post a link to my Instagram. You can message me a picture of it. I'll display it. It'd be awesome. I'll put the link for my Instagram in the description below. If you like this video and you want to see some other blue collar fixes, please like and subscribe. My name is Matt. I'm just a dude, and if I can't fix it, I'll fix it so no one else can. Thanks for watching.